been without, rather than outside.
Which is probably because you have to be a member to be in the aquatics.
Right.
So like get swim lessons or whatever.
Because you have
So
to be a member.
like the actual communication to the outside world is really difficult because you don't know how to target them to get them to pay all this money. Because that's a lot more money for swim lessons than it would be to do somewhere that you didn't have to pay like an initial fee to be a member.
Or something like
You know, like if you're just paying for swim lessons rather than like, why should you do it at Lakeshore where you have to commit to this huge
Right, it's like over $100.
deal? Yeah,
Exactly.
it's for like the whole family too.
Yeah.
So should we recommend for them to have non-members?
We were saying that maybe they should have like some sort of program
For just swimming.
where they can just, like people can just come in for that, you know, and like pay a different fee, obviously.
Like for non-members. Or they could just say, in general, you don't have to be a member, period, anymore to do the swim program.
Yeah.
And that they just, like, they can redo the pricing however they want to do it. And that way members can choose, hey, I want to do swim lessons.
So the word
hey,
gets
I don't.
out.
Yeah.
to that. Other than that, like if they weren't willing to do this, like they could just, I mean, I think to get people to go to the aquatics program, they would have to just really market the whole Lakeshore. You couldn't just market the like aquatics. You would have to use the whole.
Yeah.
So market, they could even do like advertisements like to the community that like obviously the focus is Lakeshore, but they should zero in on like swim lessons as a department. Be like,
Just make sure that's like mentioned.
right, market, Lakeshore, but like specifically focus on the aquatics department. Right. So Lindsay was saying that some current methods that they're using is she has like an email list of parents that are already like who like have emailed her like interested or
Like that are on the roster, so they get
exactly.
She has
a
all the
roster.
updates and their program.
Has a roster to email out to parents like coming up of like events and programs. Yeah, and I think Lindsay, because we mentioned this to her, and she said that one of the challenges was that because the facility is so small, and that's why they were kind of like
There's like a
skeptical.
limited amount of people that can.
Right, but we did also talk about how they don't really utilize that lab pool as much. So if they utilize that more and just got some more equipment, then they could expand their program. So though that's not communication, that can be something that like helps like build up the program so they can communicate out to the public.
Okay.
Okay. And then also, so Jordan was telling me about how Lindsay of course told us, and how when she restructured this, she really wants to implement a lot of new policies, but she said she had, she just said she had a lot of difficulty communicating that not only to her department heads, but also to the instructors and lifeguards and getting everybody on board. So,
Just like the communication and the implementation of the policies that she wants to use.
right, so I think it would be a really good idea if Lakeshore as a whole adopted some sort of online scheduling communicating program so that everybody has a Lakeshore email. If there's something going on in the whole Lakeshore as a whole, everybody who works there is emailed about the policies. Everybody is staying updated, and that's something Autumn said to me. She said that the aquatics department is very separate from like the rest, so she never really knows what's going on. So
Especially if they had it on like their website.
Yeah,
Like some sort of
unified,
like what the policies are for paying late or
street amongst all employees. Email accounts, scheduling, updates, programs, like advertisements, like that, those type of things. Oh yeah, procedures, of course. Oh yeah, procedures, payments, like billing, or like, I don't know if that's what you mean by that. Like the employees getting paid.
No, I'm not like billing. It's
Yeah. So if there could be, yeah, so like that type of thing. I feel like that would be really good. That way everybody is on the same page.
thanks for joining us.
And then, I think this would also be, it's just a better way to communicate with everybody. So there's not like emails getting lost. All of their Lakeshore emails are on one account, so they're not, and that way there's a professional way for the parents to communicate with the instructors and that type of thing as well. So there's a lot of benefits that go with that.
Does Lindsay ever meet with her instructors, like, collectively? She meets with her supervisor.
Yeah.
There's no, like, really
A time where
team building.
she said she talked a little bit about in-services, but I think that maybe could use some improvement too. There, which is where they do training.
Yeah, she said she wants to really build up her shadowing program and for like the new employees to learn. So I think most of that basically happened like through that, because swim lessons is like a different kind of service, sort of like what I do in my daily life, where like you don't work as a team, you work very individually, and like teamwork doesn't really matter besides getting everyone on the same page so they're doing the same techniques with the students. But like when you're actually working, you're by yourself.
Okay.
Like it's you and the student, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much.
And like in
They
those
really need
in-services, there could be training days where they like go over CPR and like do different like exercises and activities and team building exercises, and then they could do another one that like specifically focuses on the policies and communicating those procedures just to the instructors and to the lifeguards.
That would actually be really good for us.
Yeah.
Like just sort of workshops.
Exactly, workshops. And then they could have other ones too where, they could talk about like new policies in general that Lindsay wants to, implement and like build up, and see if her instructors have any ideas, because I think the fact that the instructors are the ones who are hands-on with the kids, so they're the ones who like have to work with them and have the most experience. So I think they're hands-on. They're right there. They're gonna know what needs improvement and what doesn't. So we'll just say like policies.
One of these could be
Trying to get
also.
ideas from instructors.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Anything else with this?
No.
No? Okay. So then the last thing we'll talk about for today is our third point, and that is, I really noticed the language that the instructors use for communicating to the students during the swim lesson. So we'll talk about language, usage,
Especially at like the very you know there?
Yeah, right, exactly. So, like, this is especially important, for safety, like, personal enjoyment.
Engagement.
Yeah. Engagement, participation, getting the kids to want to come back, stay loyal, that type of thing. So what we noticed was that it was very dry. It was just kind of like, do this, go.
Right.
So I think that something that in one of Lindsay's new policies that she should maybe work towards is revamping that language and making it more involved with like imagination and creativity. I think that is really something that I think they're lacking. I think consistency is important in the fact that they're doing the same thing every day, but I feel like it could be so much more fun. So the kids like remember like, oh, I'm gonna make a pizza, so like this is how my arms go. You know what I mean? So they can relate something that they're so so familiar with to a skill that they really have no idea like what brushstroke is. They just do it because that's what they're doing. So, I think some of like, okay, so I know one of one of the like exercise equipments that they use is a barbell. So I think for that, like I said, they could use that as exactly as a race car. And then also I was thinking for girls like younger, for younger kids, like preschool, I don't know, like 3 to, I don't know, even 6 years old maybe. Like use a race car or, and ask them what color it is and ask them what color it is and where are they going, like what journey are they going on, to create like a story out of it. Creating a story. And like you could do that for girls as well, but instead of it being a race car, you could do like a princess carriage or, bring it fairy tales into it. So it could be like a carriage going to like a princess ball or going to see your prince or something. Princess carriage. Let's see here. They also use the boards. I don't know. I just think. I mean, that's just an example. We can come up with other ones. But I just think that there's so much that should be more story oriented. They do Chop Timber is one of them, which is a really good idea that they have right now. That's when they choose a tree. Exactly. So you're a tree, and you just go chop timber, and at the end you put your arms up in a streamline, and then you jump in the water. And that's something they've been doing like since they started. Like one of the moms told us that when we were sitting there, and they're just like, they've known it for so long. They just know that's how they end their class, and it's like a little reward. It's something fun for them to do.
Makes them want to come back.
Yeah. It leaves them with good memories.
I know they're really like once we're done with this whole imagination creativity thing.
Sure.
No, I can't. We were talking about when we were watching how there's a lot more verbal communication than kinesthetic communication. Which is kind of like is okay if you're a little bit older and have bodily awareness, but
types of demonstration.
Like when you are understanding how to like do a new stroke, I think that it should be more like you move your arm like this, not move your arm back. Like they don't, like little kids don't understand that, so it needs to be more focused on the aesthetics of it rather than the verbal. I mean, obviously you do need verbal communication, but with something else,
of course. But I feel like it should almost be all three. Like you should tell them, you should show them, and they should do it themselves. Like this is what I'm doing with my arms. I'm scooping up my ice cream. I'm cleaning the ceiling. Like whatever you're gonna do, they should practice it themselves, and then you should show it to them going forward so they can see what it looks like.
It was cute. Kind of goes without saying. When they were doing the chicken.
Oh yeah, that was a really good
something
example.
soldier.
Yeah.
Chicken soldier.
Yeah, so they would say, show me your chicken arms, and then they would say, what was it like? Now you're a tree, or no, now you're flying, and then show me your shoulder.
Chicken airplane soldier.
Yeah, chicken airplane soldier. That was a good one. So that was like a really good kinesthetic one, but that should be something that always happens. I feel like that way they get used to doing it all the time, not just in the water, but out of the water. And I don't know. They have more. Yeah. It's just like how little kids learn. Kinesthetic and physical demonstration. I like that. Do we want to add anything else? How's everybody good?
That looks good.
To start with, and we can keep developing it.
Because those three,
yeah.
the three things we talked about, I mean, those just are definite, like,
right. So I think our
obvious
three
problems they have with their communication.
Right. So our three recommendations are going to focus on their external communication, and then their implementation and communication of their policies with the instructors, and then also the instructor communication with the kids and making that more creative and fun for them to make them want to come back.
Okay.
Cool.
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you.